Here with Coach Nimz as Demons. It's time. It's tournament time. It's here. Playing on Monday morning against Corpus, and we'll talk about the game obviously in a moment. But Coach, give me a sense of the feeling this year of as we head into the tournament, because for me, and I assume hopefully maybe for you and for the girls, it feels a little bit different as we head into this tournament as opposed to the past couple ones.
I think there's a lot more confidence. I think there's confidence. I think in seasons past, that group they did all the work. They got us to where we needed to be. They got us to that first round, and I think this year's group is ready to take that next step. I think they're playing confident. Obviously, with Maya Blake as your point guard. I've talked a lot about her calmness and her confidence that I think she provides to everybody else. That helps, but I think it was important that we were able to take on Corpus Christi early, and so the fact that we're matching up with the reigning champs, an odd matchup, obviously at the 5-8 set standings, but I think the girls are confident, right? It's just the next game. There is excitement about it being the tournament, but I think there's an overall calmness and just genuine locked-in feeling versus jitters.
I don't know if, and maybe you're going to have to track with me a little bit on this, but my theory for that is we had those two games against HCU and East Texas to sort of maybe put the disappointment of not getting the bye, not losing UIW, put it behind us, have some good defensive performances, and now sort of build that momentum and confidence for next week.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, the fact that we came off that UIW game, that was a real disappointing loss. Finished tied for fourth, but with that loss, it put us in the 5-hole. But then to have back-to-back games where we were able to refocus our defensive efforts, hold two good scoring teams to 50, around 50, and in fact actually capitalize more offensively. We were able to gain some of that confidence, and obviously being at Prather, back-to-back games in front of a home crowd, coming off a really positive senior night, but knowing that that's not our last game, there's just like a little more excitedness, a little more, I don't think that's a word, a little more confidence, a little more calmness. But it was just two games to help us have a positive feeling moving into the tournament.
So let's talk about it. Monday, you already sort of mentioned it. It's been since January 9th that we've seen Corpus. We only played them once this year. It was down at their place. Memorable game in many ways.
That's one way to say it.
Memorable, yes, because of what happened in the first half. But I think even more so as you look back at that game, memorable because of what obviously everybody did, but the way Maya was able to sort of help close that game out. Big win on the road, and I think that's maybe what we take the biggest takeaway from that first matchup. Yeah,
and then also it's just Northwestern State hadn't beaten Corpus in a long time, especially not at their place, and so obviously. They are the reigning champs. They made the NCAA 2As last year. Like, they're a great team, and Royce does a great job. And so to go in on their home court and come away with a win, I think that was huge. I think that really helps us continue to refocus our efforts here coming into Monday with a little more poise and calmness about ourselves. But they're very much a different team than they were in January, but so are we. And so that's a positive for us, and unfortunately it's a positive for them. They're scoring. They went from scoring 9 points in transition to roughly 20 points in transition. Their defensive efforts have really exploded, and so they're capitalizing. Different kids are stepping up and making plays for them, but the same goes for us. And so it's a 5-8 matchup, but they're an incredibly good team. But we're an incredibly good team, so it's going to be a really tough game on Monday. But our girls are going to be prepared, and they're excited to play.
What's it going to take? I know you're still talking about getting that 40 minutes, and this is where we want
it
the most.
You have to have 40 minutes of play at this point in the season, and you absolutely have to have 40 minutes of play against Corpus Christi. Right now everybody's going to be giving their best effort, and we have to give our best for 40 minutes. We're going to have to be able to play into our bench a little bit. We're going to have to be able to really focus on the defensive end, and keep the main thing, and that's what we've done all season, and that's what's given us success. And then obviously capitalize on our offensive end when the opportunity is presenting itself and we're executing.
Coach, best of luck in Lake Charles.
Thank you. Fork 'em.